Hi homeschoolers! I wanted to do, as quickly as I can, a flip through of my planner for our upcoming school year starting in July. First, I want to thank Pam for Plan Your Year. It's amazing. I'm very thankful that I found it as early as I did. And to Dawn and everyone in the group, everyone is so helpful and I really truly appreciate it. So let's get started. First things first, this is the planner I'm using this year. It's a classic size Happy Planner and I love it. It's great. I love the ability to add and remove pages. I'm all about customization. I found though, probably about 2 months in, is that I didn't really care for the vertical weekly pages. And it's not the design of the pages as much as it is, I don't enjoy that type of calendar-based planning. I enjoy a broad overview or an outline, and instead of saying on the 23rd we're going to do pages 5 through 17 of whatever, I just want to do the next thing, which is why I adore loop planning. So anyway, this is this year's planner, and those were my issues with this particular planner. So when I was thinking about next year's planner, I first and foremost decided I wanted to go with the big Happy Planner, which uses 8.5 by 11 full-size sheets of paper. And I was also thinking about reusability. So you can get the plastic covers, or you can buy a planner and just gut it and use the plastic covers, or take it what you want to use out of it and scrap the rest. But I decided to just purchase the hard snap covers, I think is what they're called. And they have the new metal rings. Because I figured, I'll probably still buy a new planner, or at least a new cover, because I love planners and I have a problem. But maybe not. This is a good basic cover. It's hard. It's pretty sturdy. It's thick. It's not leather, but I think it's faux kind of a leather. And it's got a hard cardboard probably inside. And the metal rings are nice. So I was thinking about reusability, and so I can use this for every year, remove the plans, put them in our homeschool file box, and start over. So first of all, oh, and I also bought the big Happy Planner size dividers. But that was it. Everything else in here, besides this little paper, is Pam's Plan Your Year, or forms I've made and printed myself. This will probably not live in my homeschool binder. This will probably live, I have a whole pack of these. I like to stick these type of lists on my kitchen cabinet and do my little check off lists as I go through my week. I like that this had the dailies, because sometimes I write a list, especially when there's a lot of things to get done, like Monday, clean the bathroom and make such and such for dinner. Tuesday, laundry and make this for dinner. Wednesday, we have this appointment, whatever. And a to-do list, which just is a basic to-do list. And so I've already used a couple of these where I've written out a whole bunch of stuff that I need to do around the house, and I've stuck it on my kitchen cabinet because that's what works best for me. So that's that. And here's one of Pam's cover pages for homeschool. I've just simply added the date and the name of our homeschool using a preview on my Mac, and I posted a video last year in the video files of the Plan Your Year Facebook group that shows how I added the text to these pages. Our homeschool vision. Our first divider is calendar. I'm trying to reach around the tripod, so it's a little bit difficult. Calendar. Here's our overview for the year, our terms, what days we're taking off, Our attendance is on the back of that, so I can just check it off as we go. This year, I didn't print this last year, but I'm doing it this year, and I think I'm really going to like it. I did the at a glance, the 6 months on a page and 6 months on a page. I really like it because I'm going to be adding to it. But as of right now, I have, in the summertime, we do astronomy, but then somebody in the group also said about Shark Week, and I was like, oh man, I totally forgot about Shark Week. So I want to do Shark Week this summer, and that's in July, and so I blocked off the days that Shark Week takes place so that I will remember about it. And I also have birthdays and also our breaks, and I'll probably add other things as we go along, like we do astronomy in the summer, certain planetary events that will be happening. I should have typed them in, but I'll probably just write them in because I just wanted to print it and be done. And as we go throughout the year too, I'll be adding things. Our next tab is Syllabus. And in here I have goals worksheet, our course of study, our resources needed for each subject, our block schedule planner, and this is kind of where it comes in to how I plan kind of for the season. Yes, they're planned, you know, with the dates of through July 9th through August 31st, etc. My goodness, tongue-tied. I'm going to get tongue-tied again. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, like, this is our summer term, and these are the things we're going to be doing in the summer. And then this is the fall, which is, you know, typical public school start dates. But that's just this time of year. This, we did this last year, but we only did it for the month of December, which is the Hygge schooling. And this year I want to do it for both November and December. It's going to be great. I loved it so much last year. And then the slog of January and February after the holiday coming down and before spring. And then spring, and then this is our last month of school where we kind of finish up and do a review. And then our resource planning list, which I love this list, this form, and because it's so helpful to me. I've listed everything that I need to buy and when I need to buy it by, which is helpful because our budget doesn't allow for us to buy everything all at once. And so it's nice knowing when I need things purchased by. I just need to buy a couple more things for Term 1 starting in July, and we should be good. Our next section is resources, and in here, actually I don't think this is one of Pam's forms, but I did my little trick where I do a white box and cover up what was there, and then I typed in my own label, which, I mean, I know I could ask Pam to make a form that looks just like this that says game index, but I don't want to make more work for her when I could just do it myself. So, but if Pam wants to make a form that says game index, that would be great. So these are all of our board games that we'll be using for school, many of which are math, and I think we have some state games that we're going to be doing this year. The other side is blank because I still have more games to buy. Again, I don't know which form this is of Pam's, but I did my relabeling. And this one is educational programs and online resources. These are all the resources that I've found, like YouTube channels, Amazon Prime videos, Teach with Movies, that, you know, are good resources and educational, outschool.com, Science Max, which is on YouTube. It's a channel, Kids Discover. Just, you know, great channels with lots of informative information, and they make it fun for kids to watch, and always good for those rainy days. So next I have procedures. This is in here. I actually had this in my old planner. This is Alphabet 8s. Which is a technique used for kids with dysgraphia. Now, my son has not officially been diagnosed with dysgraphia, but I felt last year that he was displaying many of the characteristics of it, so we started doing the alphabet 8s. Look that up online if you feel your child's having some dysgraphia issues. It's really great. My son has greatly improved, and this year we're hoping to learn some cursive, so I'm hoping this will help his foundation for learning cursive. Procedures, my procedures for Marie's words, vocabulary, poetry, composer study, and history. This is from biglifejournal.com. Oh, I guess I didn't make this form, but I did print it. biglifejournal.com printed this. A Parent's Guide to a Growth Mindset, which is helpful reminders for me to help my son have a growth mindset. This is from the Living Learning List. These are all ways to do math, history and geography, and science without, you know, a workbook or a textbook. This, you know, like living textbooks and living everyday math, which we do a lot of math with games, but we are going to incorporate some workbooks this year, which I don't know how well that's going to go over with my child, but we're going to try. And this next one is labeled Loop. This is our weekly loop. This was one of Pam's other cover pages, which again, I've doctored to my needs. And this is our loop outline. I have morning time, language arts, math, music, social studies, which I've also included science in our social studies loop, and our beauty loop, and of course getting outside every single day. And I have written down what I would like to complete each day and each week for a minimum of those times. Obviously I want to do more if I can, but minimum, it's good to have minimums. This is a plastic tab divider page marker. I don't remember what they're called, but it's Happy Planner. And I actually bought this for my classic size Happy Planner, so it's sized for a classic size Happy Planner, but it works just fine in the big Happy Planner. And this is my weekly loop checklist, which I did share in the Plan Your Year Facebook group with the blank fill in yourself pages. I've typed mine in. I do sell this form in my Etsy shop, but I've given it to everyone in the Plan Your Year group for free. I love this page that I made because really it's just a check. It's a checklist for me. It's to, you know, if I'm start getting, you know how we always do as homeschooling moms, am I doing enough? I can look back at this and say, yes, I am doing enough, or I'm doing enough in these areas, but not these areas. And it will really help me. I have all of our subjects that I have outlined over here listed. And then as we do them each week, if we do Marie's words every day, I will put a check mark every day, and I might write the words that we use in the notes section, handwriting, what letters we use. You know, over here you can kind of write what you did and look back on it and have seen what you've accomplished and what you haven't accomplished. And so that's my plan for this page. I also wanted to say I didn't know if anybody knew, because I only have one child. So I have 6 weeks worth on one page front and back. If you have multiple children, in this gray box right here, you can write your child's name, and it could be a checklist for each child for the week. I mean, so you could have 6 children on this one list, or if you have 2, then you have 3 weeks worth, etc. So there's that. And then my last tab, but not my last section, is Scatterbook, which this is an idea from the brilliant Julie of Brave Writer. My gosh, that's hard to do with one hand. This is just a lined sheet of paper that I could have made it myself, but I just bought it on Etsy. It actually used to say notes up here, and I did my little trick and wrote scatterbook, take time to notice. And it's a journal, a commonplace book, an observation log, writing down quotes you find inspirational when you're reading a book or looking online, observations about your child, things they've accomplished and haven't accomplished, maybe troubles that they've had, or things that they're really excelling in, thoughts, feelings that you've had. It's really going to help looking back. It's going to help always looking back, because when you're like, man, my child is really struggling in this problem, I can look back at this and see maybe there's a connection with what I'm doing that's not helping. Or maybe something that I haven't noticed that they need, but it'll, over time, the observations will kind of add up. Does that make sense? I don't know. Look up Scatterbook by Julie with Brave Writer. And then my last section is, again, another plastic classic size tab that I've put holiday and winter stickers on. And at the top it says Hygge. It works in the Big Happy Planner just fine. And then I made this page and laminated it because I'll be using it from year to year. If you look up Hygge schooling, there's all kinds of great homeschoolers out there that have written blog posts about it, and this was our first year doing it, and we only did it in December, and it was wonderful. I'll read you what I put down here at the bottom, which I believe, gosh, I should have written down who I got this from. This is something I would have written in my scatterbook and where I found it, but I didn't. I just loved this, and I did edit it to fit wording for our family, but it is something that I read on a blog. It says, a feeling of warmth, friendliness, comfort, and well-being surrounding us as we learn. We home educate precisely because we want to foster an encouraging and nurturing atmosphere around our family, which is really what I want, especially the holiday time of year, to feel like. I want the coziness. I want it to feel special. I want all of our projects and things that we do and read to feel extra special. And we did it in December, and it was fantastic. And in this section, I'll be adding pages with like project ideas, maybe recipes for things for us to bake, and anything that kind of goes for this season that I want to do that incorporates life and learning and the holidays and just winter time of year. I'm hoping maybe even to do, sometimes they do sleigh rides in our small town, and I want to see if we can do that too. So, and then what I have back here is just a couple extra dividers that I haven't used yet, but I might end up using at some point. I'm not sure, but they're there in case I need them. And so that's it. I hope that this wasn't too long. It's probably way too long. And that's it. Thank you for watching.